Hi guys, welcome to Settle for Three, 343. Joey, Evan, Cameron, how you guys doing?
Doing
Favorite time of
great.
the week.
Yeah, you both said something at the same time. I don't know what you said, so we're just gonna move on. This is three for three, three guys, three questions, 3 minutes each. And hey, let's just get right to it. Question number one. Which SEC sport is currently the most dominant? And I mean this by performance. I'm going to give you guys three options: college football, college basketball, college baseball. We're not going to include gymnastics, which is really good, but they get an honorable mention, obviously. So, Cam, I'm going to start with you.
I, this is really tough because when you look at like the perennial powerhouses, if we're just looking at what the SEC controls, I
Uh-huh.
think the most dominance probably comes in baseball, but obviously viewership is going to be second for both of those behind football. And I would assume that baseball is probably third. So which one is the most dominant? Baseball would be my pick.
Evan?
Yeah, I've also got baseball, but honestly, right now, basketball is a pretty close second, even before football, and just honestly, just taking the rankings into account. But right
Uh-huh.
now, the SEC has 13 of their 16 teams in the top 25 in baseball and five in the top 10. So they're absolutely killing it in baseball. I think they have the number one, two, three, five, and seven right now.
Peace.
So it's really not too much of a competition. They are cleaning up. They won the whole thing last year. So hopefully we keep going.
I mean, I got to agree with you guys. I think football comes in third, surprisingly, popularity number one. SEC will always have the most talent football wise. But I just think with the 12-team playoff, it's opened the door for a lot of other teams to win four games. If they play in the first round game, and the SEC has more work to do compared to when it was the BCS or the 14 playoff. Basketball was my second choice. It's tough. When I checked yesterday, it was 8 teams in the top 25. But honestly, all the other conferences are pretty weak this year. ACC is really weak outside of Duke and Clemson. Big 12 is really good. Big East is down. A lot of the other conferences are really weak. So baseball, man, last five national champions have come from the SEC. And Evan, like you said, 13, at least 11, 12, 13 teams are in the top 25, and like five or six of them are in the top 10. It's pretty crazy. Have you guys seen some of the crowds at these baseball games? Like
Yeah,
it's
they're
it's
crazy.
nuts.
Well,
It's nuts.
now that they've started allowing you to bring coolers into a bunch of the
Yeah,
stadiums, it's become a
yeah.
lot more popular.
Alabama was actually one of the first we had. It was called the Right Field Ragers while I was in school. And it was
Okay.
basically open container, and you were able to bring your own cooler and essentially enjoy it in the outfield, which was awesome.
Well, they were really bad when you were in college. So
It didn't matter because on a Saturday or a Sunday when you're having, just a great game in general and there's nothing else to do for the weekend, it's an
yeah.
awesome way to enjoy it.
All right, time's up. But Alabama softball is pretty amazing. Question two. I know you guys love the UFL. We're counting down to the start of the season. I believe it's March 28th. I think we're all going to rep the Birmingham Stallions, right? I know you two are repping them right now. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Evan. So my question is, what's your one fix to make the UFL more popular? Evan, we'll start with you.
Here's the thing: the UFL is so fun, and it's really fun to watch. It's fun to go to. You don't take it quite as seriously as the NFL or college football right now, but that's part of
Mhm.
the problem. And one of the biggest things that they've got to improve on is just media coverage. There really isn't any. I mean, even Cameron and I, we've followed the Stallions for a whole of like a year and a half now, so not that long. But even we're trying to look up when does the season start? When are the
Mhm.
games? And then after that, they can finally start to go into more markets because there's not enough teams right now to really support a full league. They've got to get more popular first. The NFL does a great job in marketing all year long.
Mhm.
And so it's really always top of mind. UFL just needs to put some more effort into that to get people to actually know about the UFL, have some fans, and then they can start growing.
I feel like the UFL stopped at, hey, we got to deal with ESPN. We're just going to stop with our marketing right there. But Cam, what do you think?
You know, I think the league that actually does the best job of this is a league that's actually struggling right now. That would be the NBA. An approach that I would really like to see from the UFL is to try and engage these players on a personal level, similar to how the NBA does it, to try and make these personalities stick out a bit. Unlike the NFL, these are not the most known names, so it's going to be very difficult for them to become the largest name out there. But if you're able to use social media, and well, not each, but a lot of these guys do have agents. If they're able to leverage their agents, you have the league and you can really emphasize that. I think there's a lot of opportunity in just trying to get these personalities out there to try and grow the viewership. Everything they have, I agree with both of y'all, should be engaged towards trying to grow viewership.
So I have a pretty crazy idea, but it boils down to simply create any partnership with the NFL that's possible. Any sort of agreement between the NFL and UFL, and the NFL will pull the weight for the UFL. But my crazy idea is you got 8 UFL teams, you got 32 NFL teams. So assign 4 NFL teams to each UFL team, and players can only be signed by one of those 4 NFL teams. So that way, the NFL has skin in the game. Because if you're competing with 3 other NFL teams for a UFL team, I know that's a lot of word salad right there, but the point is, well, I don't care what it is, just do anything to create a bubble.
You're talking about a farm system.
Yeah, like a farm system, but kind of if you're in the UFL and an NFL team wants to sign you, only one of the 4 teams in your region can sign you, and maybe it's like the waiver wire, like the team with the worst record has the best chance to sign that player. So I don't know, it's just an idea to kind of create a partnership. That's all they need to do.
If you're a viewer and want to hear more about how the UFL could potentially be a farm league for the NFL or post-college for these players to have an opportunity to go pro, let us know in the comments.
For sure.
And tell us what they should do.
Yep. All right, guys. Question 3. Name a dark horse team to win the Super Bowl. So the odds were just updated on Saturday, March 1st, after the Deebo Samuel trade. And I believe off the top of my head, without looking at my notes, it was Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, and Bills were the top 5. So I want you guys to pick a team outside of that top 5 that you think could honestly win the Super Bowl. Cameron.
I think my pick is probably going to be pretty interesting. I have 2. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield really have a great opportunity next year. Mike Evans is getting up there in age, but if they're able to draft some talent, especially at wideout, I really think that they could be a compelling option for making at least a late playoff run. It's kind of hard to break away from the entire mold on this one of those first 5. Another one that could potentially be fun to watch if he's able to click like he did in his first couple of years in New England would be Mac Jones just went to the Tennessee Titans. I don't necessarily think that is a Super Bowl team, but I think it could be a team that makes the playoffs.
Hey, what was the question, Joey?
Cam, they might not even finish 3rd in the AFC South, let alone make the playoffs, let alone make the Super Bowl.
Hey, let me have my crazy pick. Have my crazy pick.
Go jump on a table again. Evan, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals for this one. Joe Burrow is just so good. They just brought Higgins back, and they freed up a little bit of cap room. The big problem that they have got to figure out is, number one, how to start faster. They really didn't have a good start last year, but finished off really, really well. And they've got to have a defense. In the games that they gave up almost 28 points in those games on average. So they can absolutely score. They can score fast. Burrow's brought him there before. He can absolutely do it again, but he's got to have some help on the other side. He can't just keep outscoring his opponents, and he's got to stay healthy. The whole team has got to have some luck from an injury perspective, and they just got to get some help. They've got to stop the other team from trying to beat him.
True. Yeah, I like that pick. For me, Commanders, the team that just traded for Deebo Samuel, they're currently 8th in the odds. They need to make a lot of upgrades on defense. I think we talked before about Dan Quinn just, doesn't like to teach his guys defense. But, if they can make some upgrades on that end, you got Deebo, Terry McLaurin, Jane Daniels. That's a pretty explosive trio. I think they have a puncher's chance. I mean, they made it to the NFC Championship game for real long shot odds, the Houston Texans. They have a nice team around CJ Stroud. They got to re-sign Stephon Diggs, but the AFC is incredibly weak, a lot like the NFC South with the Bucks. I think the Texans have a puncher's chance here, 25-1. But guys, as much fun as this was, that's the show. 3 for 3. You guys feeling good?
Feel good. Like these.
All right.
Simple.
All right. And if viewers are feeling good out there, Evan, what should they do?
Well, first, you should like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Then you should pop on over to Spotify, do the same thing, and follow us on all the social medias. And definitely come back in next week and comment what you want to see from us down below and what the UFL can do.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.